Oh, yeah. All right. So we got a good one to go over here, guys. And I made some big bluffs. You're going to want to stick around for this whole thing because things got pretty spicy. I will tell you guys that much. Also, as I'm getting into this, I do want to talk about every Thursday. There's actually a free roll if you guys are interested in that. For me personally, I have played in a lot of these. It's just that they're kind of time consuming. But if you're kind of like in the gutter trying to work your way up, or you're just for whatever reason, man, I think this is actually pretty cool. And I'll have more information on this one in the pinned comment as we're kind of getting into this. Also, I do want to talk about, my approach to playing because I've been doing this for so long now. I typically play, lately it's been like 4 or 5 times per week. I kind of just hone in when I'm playing, right? I pick my spots. I, understand all the different concepts, GTO, blah, blah, blah. But at some point, when you're moving up, guys, you do play against better opponents and you have to adjust. You got to bluff, you got to make plays. And it is what it is, right? There's a lot of nuance that goes into this. We also have an awesome community in the pinned comment as well where you guys could talk to me one-on-one. And I kind of just give you more insight on how I approach all this because, there is criteria that you need to kind of like hit on a regular basis in order to kind of get what you're looking for if you're just looking to take this game more seriously, right? Also, you guys could tap the like, though, and let's just get right into this, man, because I played that A3 suited, man. Y'all know I did it, okay? And, normally I might consider mucking this, but I just felt like this was one of those hands where if we do flop a 3 with an A3 suited, I mean, no one's ever going to put you on this hand, right? No one's going to put you on having a 3. Now, speaking of having a 3, if player 3 has an overpair here or, has like ace king or ace queen or something, he's going to be in a tough spot, especially if like an ace or a queen or a king or something peels off here on the turn. And my whole approach to this was, I think we're just going to slow play it. That's kind of what I was thinking. Okay, so we got a queen on the turn. I'm kind of hoping he caught up right here. That's really what I was hoping for. And it's possible, depending on how on what he does here on the turn. I'm expecting him to go for it again here. Typically, you're not going to get a check in this spot from somebody, so I'm expecting him to kind of just do his thing here. We'll see if he did. And he did. He went for the 90 piece here on the turn, okay? And I was kind of in a spot again here. Do I slow play? And I was actually thinking about just continuing to slow play here. I think the slow play instead of raising here is more effective, mainly because I don't want to scare him away, especially if he's bluffing. I'd rather just let him, bluff it all off, Or let's say he has ace queen or something like that. We're going to be in a good spot going to the river here to possibly, put in a bluff or make it look like a bluff, and he's not going to be able to get away from it. Now, to me, the ace on the river here was a really good card. I think it's a good card. We got about 385 behind here, and I had to figure out, the thing I was thinking about here, guys, is if I check this over, the issue is he might just check it down. So instead of checking or going for like, a raise, I just came over the top trying to make it look like a bluff. I guess some of my bluffs would be like 4-5 suited, 5-7. Maybe I have a pair of 6s here and I'm just trying to bluff. He didn't make the call, but I couldn't check it over to him. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like if I made that play, maybe he calls us because it did look kind of bluffy. I mean, it definitely did. I wasn't raising him. I was kind of just calling along right there, and it is what it is. So we're going to start things off here trending up, which is always good, but don't go anywhere because it's going to get better, man. It's going to get better. We're kind of just getting warmed up still, and yeah, man, I can't give anything away here, but the 8-3 suited, pretty interesting, right? Now, you guys got to understand, man, like, I do try to mix in the W's and the L's here. It's not like I'm always just kind of like up. It's just that I do make an effort to, post both. Obviously, excuse me. Obviously, like, when it comes to the results I get, I'm definitely top tier. But you know what? If you've been doing anything for as long as I have, you would expect to also be kind of like a top tier player. I mean, let's be real. And you know, I don't always get it right. You know, if I'm gonna go with a bluff, usually I'll kind of just continue with it, especially if I think somebody's not gonna make the call. You know what I mean? So, anyways, folded the jack three. Couldn't play that jack three, man. Couldn't do it. No, sir. Okay. Let's keep it rolling here. All right, 8-9 offsuit. We are in the big blind here. Okay, so I could defend here with the 8-9 for sure. Unless player 4 re-raises, it's probably just going to be a fold here. I think maybe he did re-raise. Let me see. Yeah, he did. I just let it go. If it was suited, I probably would have played it, though. But nothing happened there. On to the next one. And king 7 off. Another spot here where I think I just mucked this. Just a little muck, y'all. Just a little muck. What can I do? Okay, here we go. All right. Good spot here with the king-queen offsuit. And, you know, we're on the button here. Pretty easy standard raise. Nothing too interesting about it, but I think we're going to have a re-raise here, and I'm not going to just fold this hand. When I get re-raised with, you know, hands like king-queen, you know, king-jack offsuit, queen-jack offsuit, those type of hands, I will not automatically fold if somebody's re-raising me. It depends, you know. Also, I'll navigate it on the flop if I think somebody maybe has like a couple overcards, kind of like I do or something, and I think maybe I could just put one past them, then I'll do that. And this is going to be a kind of like one of those spots where I was leaning a little bit towards more just bluffing this as opposed to just checking it. And I think you'll see why in a second here. But this guy's going to kick it up to the 60 piece, and yeah, I'm going to make the call. Okay, and the flop, not terrible. We're going to be ahead here if he has ace, king, ace, queen, ace, jack suited, those type of hands. Another thing, too, we're blocking the diamonds, so he's probably not going to be on a diamond draw here. We have the jack for the nuts, 2 overcards still. You know, I like our spot here. It could be a lot better, obviously, but he checked it. When he checked it, it kind of seemed to me like he was just putting up the white flag. Now, instead of just raising here, I just came over the top. Now, the reason I didn't just raise here is because I felt like he's probably going to call us. A lot of people are going to float you to the turn here with like a couple overcards, like all the time. But if you come over the top like this, you basically isolate and make it impossible for ace, king, ace, queen, ace, jack to continue. And, you know, I kind of put all that together. He folded it. Let's see what that turn card would have been. The turn card was a tan. Okay, so, you know, we'll take it right there. We'll take it. Bluff got through. Okay, so just doing our thing here, man. Just throwing some bluffs out there. Going good so far. And still making our way here. Had to raise the jack 6 suited up, man. We couldn't just check this one to the flop. I think player 3 might have made the call here. Let's see. No, sir. No, sir. He mucked it. All right, ace deuce off. Yeah, I was kind of like up in the air on this one. More of just a fold. If it's suited, obviously I'm going to make the call. Like, it's a no-brainer, but, you know, wasn't feeling it. So we just let it go. We let it go. Queen 7 offsuit. Another easy fold, just a fold. Queen 3 suited now. Thought about playing that one, guys. I was thinking about it. I didn't do it, but I was definitely thinking about it. It's all good though. All right, player 1 put in a raise, and I think that's pretty much the end of it. And I'm kind of glad I didn't raise because we probably would have got re-raised there, and then I would have been like, Oh, we got the ducks, man. We got the ducks. Give us a duck, man. This duck is swimming in a pond. Let's get it, man. Let's give the ducks some bread in the water. You know what I'm saying? Let's give them a little bread, maybe some pretzels. Let's see if they take a bite. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Got the ducks. Come on, ducks. Okay, over to player 2. I think we have a re-raise to the 40 piece. So kind of like a small re-raise, kind of telling me he's just feeling things out. We're obviously not going to fold here because we could get that duck, man. We could get that duck. Will we get it? Let's see. Oh, man, not a good flop. And this is not a good flop to bluff into unless I had some kind of like crazy read, but there's not much we could do here. Kind of sad, y'all. Kind of sad, but we're not going to dwell on it. Now, once again here, I'm not going to take the bait. I'm just going to check it. And, you know, the reason I didn't take the bait here was because I think player 2 is going to go pretty large here on the turn, which told me he's probably just slow playing us. You know, he could have pocket aces here, ace king, ace queen, who knows. Maybe he flopped the flush. We got nothing to bluff with there. That's just a pretty easy fold. And I think he made it pretty easy for us as well. I didn't really have to think about that one too much. Okay, we're kind of getting closer to the moment of this one, guys. I hope you've enjoyed all this so far. And, you know, like I said, if you are enjoying it, obviously subscribe. I'm always playing, always posting. And, you know, if you're, I don't know, man, just looking for some insight or kind of feeling isolated, because playing this game can be isolating, man. You can get in the community in the pinned comment. Like I said, man, definitely do it. All right, queen 5 off, folding here. And I think overall, up until we get to the spot, I played pretty good. I think I mixed things up. We threw in some bluffs, picked our spots, and we didn't get too reckless. Oh, you know, that 7-4 suited right there. If we were on the button, I would have raised it up, but I didn't. I just let it go. You know, oh well. All right, here we go, guys. I think this is it, pocket jacks. Okay, so is this the first pocket pair we've had? I'm pretty sure this was the first pocket pair. And I got a little bit creative with this, okay? I think it's going to be me and player 3. And you know what? I'm actually going to end up turning jacks into a bluff in this hand. Which, you know, we'll see if it made sense or not, right? All right, player 3, kind of a small button raise, kicked it up to the 11 piece. Pretty easy raise for us here, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, if he re-raises us, I'm totally fine with that. I'm still going to make a call here. But I think he just called, which told me maybe he's just got a mediocre hand, you know, applying a little bit of pressure here. If he re-raises us here, then we know he's got the premiums, you know, ace, king suited, aces, kings, queens, etc. But he didn't. He just called, and not exactly, we didn't want to see the queen on the flop. However, I'm not ready to give up on this just yet. And maybe I should have given up on this. Now he's going to put out a little something here, and for us, raising doesn't make a lot of sense. I think we just have to call to see a turn card here or fold, but raising, it doesn't make sense. I'm not exactly a believer anyways, and if he's got a queen, you know, we could still hit a jack, or we could turn our hand into a bluff. Ace on the turn, this is where I decided to turn my hand into a bluff with the ace. I just felt like if he's raising on the flop, it's possibly as a set. I don't necessarily think he does, though, because I think he'd probably slow play it. Maybe he's got a queen, and now he doesn't like the ace. I mean, there's definitely some things going on in my head here. I was a little bit, you know, leaning towards... Actually, I think it was always leaning towards going for a bluff here for whatever reason, guys. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to turn jacks into a bluff. We'll see if it works out or not. You know, I think it was probably like a 60-40 split, 60 more leaning towards a bluff here. I guess I just wasn't a believer. And like I said, sometimes in these spots I get it wrong. A lot of the time I get it right. It is what it is. He is going to end up calling us down here, and we're going to be in a lot of trouble going to the river. However, it's all good, guys. It's all good. Like I said, I try to post the W's and the L's for you guys, okay? And, you know, even after this loss, and it is going to be a loss, I brushed it off, moved on, and, you know, we got to look at this as a long-term thing as well. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe, you know, tap that like if you made it to the end, and we'll see you in the next one.